As a plastic surgeon, I make good money. But when COVID came, because I'm not on frontline medicine, I was home. I didn't have any income whatsoever. And that was fun for about a week. And then as 2 weeks went on, I'm like, wait a minute, how long am I going to be home here? How long am I going to live without a paycheck? And that's when it came to me. My God, I am entirely dependent on my income. It dawned on me that just being dependent on a single stream of income, no matter how large that stream of water is coming from the fire hose, you are at risk.
Hey, this is Neeti, and what you're about to hear today is a very special episode with one of the members from our portfolio program.
We call these Sensei Sessions. These interviews are designed to give you perspective about what you can achieve with the right strategies and execution.
I hope you enjoy this episode, and for free resources, check out our show notes section to see how you can build and scale your portfolio.
Today we have Allan with us. Take a second and tell us about yourself, who you are, where you're from, what you do for a living, investing-wise, what you do, and all of the things about you.
Okay, thank you. I'm a plastic surgeon, and I used to do the whole body plastic surgery, but now I specialize in hair transplant surgery. I came into the Open Spaces program about 16, 17 months ago when it dawned on me after having read, we read a lot of financial things, don't we? We all do. And I had been thinking a lot about real estate. I've been thinking about real estate for 5 years, but I didn't know where to go. And, learning from the University of Google and YouTube just gets you confused, right? You just get all kinds of information. This guy says this person says that, do this, do that. You don't even know where to go. And one day on my social media feed, Pollock and Neeti were on. And it was so eye-opening. And they spoke right to me about what? About developing systems and processes. Now, not being from the business world, I only knew a little bit about systems and processes, but I had been studying that. And when they said that they would help develop that, I immediately became interested. I did a phone call with Avi and talked about the program and my doubts. And, all of us who work with our hands know that it's a precarious position. As a plastic surgeon, I make good money. Okay. I'm not going to try and hide that. But life is not about how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? When COVID came, because I'm not on frontline medicine, I was home. I was literally at home with my family, making nothing. I didn't have any income whatsoever. And that was fun for about a week. And then as 2 weeks went on, 3 weeks went on, 4 weeks, I'm like, wait a minute, how long am I going to be home here? How long am I going to live without a paycheck? And that's when it came to me. My God, I am entirely dependent on my income. And in my professional career, this sounds crazy and crass, but money has kind of come easy because I'm a hard worker. I do a lot of surgery. I see a lot of patients. I make good money. But if I don't see patients, if I don't do surgery, I don't make any money. And all of a sudden, for the first time in my professional life as an adult, I wasn't making money. I was home. Well, that was cool for a little while, like I said, but somebody's got to pay the bills. Somebody's got to pay the mortgage. And it dawned on me that just being dependent on a single stream of income, no matter how large that stream of water is coming from the fire hose, you are at risk. You're in trouble if anything happens. So I saw another thing that said, your net worth has nothing to do with your income. And I thought, wait a minute, what does that mean? Your net worth has nothing to do with your income. Then I realized my net worth was entirely tied to not only my income, but a stock portfolio, which we all know goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. In the end, could be exactly where it was 10 years ago. And I had seen that happen as well. So then it was basically through my study, I realized, your net worth is things that you own that are assets. Assets are the most important thing to own. And in this program, we learn about buying what? Cash flowing assets. And that's what I needed to learn. And coming to this program immediately, going through the modules, this is where you decide, this is where you figure out, aha, this is how people do it. So I went through the modules and I picked my market. And right away, within 2 months of being in the program, I had my first property. And I was able to come back after I refinanced that. Long story short, I came home with $8,000 from that cash out refi.
Nice.
And I was able to take that and rental income and put it to my second property. So right away, I had learned and seen firsthand the velocity of money, right? Because now cash out refi and some rental property, boom, down payment on the second house. Second house came and was able to build that. Now, it hasn't, and I'm here to also tell you, it's not that smooth of a process. It did start out smooth for me. And right away, I had that first property. And within a few months of that, I had my second property. But then things happen, right? This is real estate.
Yeah, it's an amazing journey and an incredible process. You're building your net worth. So that's amazing. I just think it takes a very special kind of person to be so successful in their career and still be open to learning new things and building an entire other stream of income, because I know a lot of high earners and not everybody is willing to look at it from this perspective. Because like you said, when it's easy, when you've worked so hard to build it, you work very hard to build a career. So when you say money comes easy, it's the privilege you've earned by working hard to build that, right? Like you've worked towards it. But you get to that point, and I see a lot of people, they're just like, you know what? I'm working, I'm making great income. This is it for me, right? And you've the ability to think to build so many other income streams.
So, one of the things about living in suburban Chicago and having a circle of friends, that I have in the neighborhood that I live in is that you can find yourself in a position which I openly admit is a situation where you can be house rich and cash poor. Living in big houses is great, but it also comes with big expenses, And so I needed this program to redirect my financial future in a way that sort of corrected that. I'll say it again, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Depending on your income and depending on a stock portfolio, which most of my friends do, in fact, real estate is beneath them. We know a lot of people who have no interest in having tenants. All they talk about are broken toilets in the middle of the night.
How many broken toilets in the middle of the night phone calls have you had, Allan, so far?
None.
Yeah,
I've taken none.
exactly.
And so, that's the thing, and they don't want to get into it. They don't want to learn. They don't want to. This is truly beneath them. Some people just think that their big salaries and their stock portfolios, et cetera, is all they need, and it may be true for them. But I'm here to tell you that depending on that, gets very precarious. And doing what Pelican need to teach us to do, buying these properties, is how you're going to build wealth and buy and get to financial independence.
How have you changed in your real estate? So, I mean, in terms of how you think about it, but I'd love to hear just kind of your shift in how you used to think about this and how you do now.
Ooh, I love that question. Allan 2.0.
Having gotten into the program, I think the biggest thing though is taking action, right? Because we think and think ourselves out of action. We get scared. We want to make no mistakes. We want it to be perfect. Instead of going for perfect, take action and then learn from that step. That's the most important learning that I've gotten from this program. We set up systems and processes through Pelican DT. We know what we're supposed to do. Now do it. And when we celebrate these little wins every week and say, yeah, I did this, I finished the module. Well, that's awesome, because you are one step closer to buying that property. I picked out my zip code. Amazing. I contacted 10 realtors and I hated all of them. Okay, that's good too, because all part of the process. And then number 11 is the one you're going to hire. And if you don't take those steps, you're not going to get any closer. You will just literally look at your computer screen or your phone and just daydream about real estate, which is what I did for at least 5 years before I came to this program.
That's amazing. So, Allan, if someone was starting out brand new, they don't have their first property under contract, and they look at you and they're like, he's so amazing, he's already done this. What would you say to them so that they can take quick action? Like, what's the key to fast execution as a brand new person in this world?
When you come on those Sunday phone calls, you hear about what people are doing, and that stirs your mind into action steps that you can do that will help you move forward in this process. So obviously we all have to get through the modules, right? And when you can do those little things in parallel to buying that first property, just by picking your neighborhood, setting up your LLC, having those conversations with the different team members that we have on this Open Spaces pages. Those things will help you, as slow as they seem and as minimal as they seem. They're important building blocks to getting the later stuff done. So start working on those little things that seem silly, but get you moving forward.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, thank
Happy
you
to
for
use
doing
that.
this. We appreciate you, and
Yep.
we want to see you achieve even more success.
Thank you.
When you're ready to get serious, you can join us at theinvestoraccelerator.com.
It's like getting 1,000 episodes worth of information in 5 days, and it's everything you need to build your actionable plan to financial freedom and making work optional.